A new video series from the Knights of Columbus is assisting men with their spiritual journeys and offering tools to enhance their roles in evangelization. Into the Breach, airing this week on EWTN, is based on Phoenix Bishop Thomas Olmsted's 2015 apostolic exhortation of the same name, which called Catholic men to be prepared for the spiritual battle for their souls and the souls of their families. Joining me now on Skype to talk more about this series is Dr. Jonathan Reyes, Knights of Columbus Senior Vice President for Evangelization and Faith Formation. Jonathan, welcome back. Good to see you. So tell us, why was it so important to the Knights of Columbus to produce a series?
I think what's so important is that there's a recognition, not just of the Knights, but Bishop Olmsted saw this and so many others do, of just the crisis that we're facing as a church and as the world, and that a real response to this from Christ is his call to men to step into the breach, to say yes to the call he's given them. And they want tools and inspiration and practical guidance. And so the Knights, with 2 million members of men across the country and across the world, decided what better thing for us to do than produce a tool, a resource, to help men do exactly what the Lord's calling them to address the crisis in evangelization, the church, and the world.
Can we talk about the importance of Catholic men and fathers in evangelization, and how exactly does supporting them in that role carry out the vision of the Knights of Columbus founder and soon to be beatified, Father Michael McGivney?
We're pretty excited about that. Thanks for bringing it up. Yeah, one of the statistics that's out there that many people have heard is that the way you can determine whether a child is going to stay in the Catholic Church, the most correlation comes with the practice of the faith of the father. Fathers have, for whatever reason, a special role in the practice of the faith of the next generation, and we're losing that generation. That's not news to anybody. So any response that's going to bring the gospel to bear upon the world has to have as a centerpiece addressing men in their particular role as husbands and fathers, to say yes to Christ, to model that so that their children say yes to that. We need a generation of warriors for Christ. We don't need everyone. We don't need a huge number, but we need a generation of people who are committed to Christ, and that starts in fatherhood. It starts in the family. So this series is about fathers, it's about families, it's about sons, it's about spiritual warfare. It's for the whole family to watch, and we think this will really have a difference, and we know it's making a difference already in the lives of many families across the country.
You already talked about this a little bit, but can you talk a little bit more about some of the topics that will be addressed in the series?
Sure. They range all the way from things like manhood, brotherhood, and fatherhood to issues of life, issues of prayer. There's a deeply moving video on suffering and just how you deal with that. There's videos that go across the spectrum of life and just family life in general, and how to be in a family and how to order a family life. And what's so important about it, and what I think is so helpful, is that there's a practical side to this. So the videos are inspiring, but there's a study guide, and we have experts from across the country that say, not just go pray, but here's how you pray. Here's how to bring the rosary into your life. Here's how to live as a father. So we think in combining inspiration with practical advice, we're really hitting a sweet spot here and hopefully making a difference by God's grace.
As far as the viewers, what would you like them to take away from this series, and also from the witness of the Catholic men featured?
I think what I want them to take away from this is simply the inspiration to say yes. I don't believe that God has stopped calling men to greatness. The question is, are we willing to say yes? So that they watch this, if they can say, okay, Lord, my life is yours with all my problems, with all the difficulties I bring. And by the way, the stories in this are very earthy. To say yes, and to go to our website, kfc.org/intothebreach, to watch on EWTN tonight and the rest of the evenings of this week, and to just immerse themselves in this call from God and to have the courage to say yes.
Well, Jonathan, we are really looking forward to this series. Thank you so much for doing it, and thanks for coming on today. Dr. Jonathan Reyes, Knights of Columbus Senior Vice President for Evangelization and Faith Formation. Thank you again.
Thank you.